So, hi everyone, welcome to our presentation today. So, we are from today Group A. So, my name is Junong. Here is my teammate Yu Xiang, Michelle, Jingheng, and also Jingjie. So, today we're presenting on the topic which is analyzing the solar tech components. So, we hope you all will gain some valuable insight throughout this presentation. So next slide. Alright, so this is our table of content of our presentation today as we're going to introduce it. First of all, we're going to introduce about the background of solar type components. And other than that, we also test the financial viability by using the break-even and the CVP analysis. Other than that, we also talk about the cash budgeting and the compliance challenges. And last but not least, the ethical reflection and also the conclusion. So next slide. Alright. So before we go through the main part of our presentation today, let me talk about the background of the SolarTech. So the SolarTech component Sdn Bhd is actually a medium-sized manufacturer in Penang, which makes the solar panel component for the export markets. And they have average revenue of about 25 million ringgit Malaysia over the past 3 years. And this positioning as a growing supply in the renewables. So despite being in the renewables, the company faced ESG concerns, namely high carbon emission and also low workplace diversity, which were raising the credibility and the client trust issues and attracting negative publicity. So our role is to assess whether SolarTech respond to these challenges is both financially viable and ethical responsibly, and how the company can move forward sustainability while maintaining the competitiveness and also the trust. So that's all for me. So right now I'll pass it to Michelle to talk about the financial viability.
Alright, thank you, Jinhong. Let's start with the performance of SolarTech in 2024. They had a break-even volume of 1.4 million units, and they sold up to 2 million units, leaving them with a profit of 3 million ringgit. As you can see, the operations were profitable, but they heavily relied on coal-based energy, which raised ESG concerns amongst their clients. This led to the requirement of new ESG compliance measures. Next slide, please. After applying several changes, such as implementation of solar panels, upgrading equipment to be more energy efficient, the company's fixed cost rose by 2 million ringgit to lead to a total fixed cost of 9 million ringgit. This changed the break-even volume to 1.8 million units. Subsequently, the profit for the year of 2025 was only 1 million ringgit, one-third of what it was in 2024, reflecting the investments made to reduce carbon emissions and increase workplace inclusivity. Next slide, please. We evaluated two cost recovery strategies. Strategy A involves raising the selling price by 40 cents per unit. As a result, this changes our profit from 1 million to 1.8 million. This improves our contribution margin, leading to a faster recovery of ESG investment costs and increases the company's short-term profitability. However, this increases competitive pressure amongst rivals with lower prices and may reduce demand among cost-conscious clients. The price hike may seem like the company is prioritizing margins over genuine sustainability. Next slide, please. Scenario B consists of increasing the sales volume by 12%, leading to a new volume of 2.24 million units and a profit increase from 1 million to 2.2 million. This change leads to higher total contribution margins due to the increased sales volume and better utilizations of the upgraded energy efficient equipment and potential economies of scale as production expands. However, the 12% growth is slightly unrealistic and can lead to operational strain. A higher working capital would be needed to compensate for the changes, leading to possible cash flow pressures. Next slide, please. Overall, both these strategies help to improve profitability post ESG compliance changes, where scenario A offers a safer scenario but risks Solartech's competitiveness and market position, whereas scenario B offers higher potential and increases the company's sustainability but could be unachievable in the short term. Overall, a balanced approach would be to combine a small price increase per unit with a targeted sales growth goal. Now I'll pass it on to Jingje for the cash budgeting.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm Jingjie. Now I'll address SolarTech's cash budgeting and compliance challenge. We prepare a 3-year cash budget projection from 2025 to 2027 to assess how the company ESG compliance effort impact its financial liquidity. As shown on the slide, the cash flow changes year by year are quite significant. In 2025, SolarTech is expected to run a cash deficit of 3.4 million, while cash received are about 19 million. Operating payment jumped to 22.4 million, mainly due to upfront ESG compliance costs. These include investment in solar panels, energy efficient machinery, and diversity programs. This initiative increased costs by around 40% over the 2024 baseline, creating an immediate liquidity pressure. In 2026, things began to improve. We see our project to rise 5% to around 19.95 million, and operating payment dropped to 19.2 million, resulting in a surplus of 750,000. This positive turn is driven by better customer confidence and reduced ESG costs, now around 20% above the baseline rather than 40%. By 2027, we expect continued recovery. Cash received increased another 7%, reaching approximately 21.3 million, while payment are about 20.16 million. This gives us a surplus around 1.19 million. Despite this improvement, if we total the net cash flows over the 3 years, we still end up with a cumulative deficit of 1.46 million. This means that by the end of 2027, Solartech cash flow will not yet have fully recovered the initial ESG spending. The cash flow trend clearly shows a deep steep in 2025, followed by gradual but not complete recovery. This diagram shows Solartech net cash flow from 2025 to 2027. The deficit of 3.4 million in 2024, followed by a surplus of 750,000 in 2026 and 1.19 million in 2027. The deficit in 2025 stems from upfront ESG investment, including solar panels, energy efficient machinery, and diversity initiatives. This cost raised operating payment by around 40% above the 2024 baseline, while cash flow inflow remained that, leading to a major short-term gap. By 2026, cash flow improves slightly. This is due to a lower ongoing ESG expenses and 5% increase in receipt. As customer confidence began to return, in 2027, the trend continues. Revenue grows another 7%, and operation cost remains steady, allowing for a larger surplus. However, despite the recovery, the cumulative cash position remained negative, about 1.46 million over 3 years. This persistent shortfall indicates a serious liquidity concern. If revenue recovery slows or costs rise unexpectedly, Solartech could face cash shortfalls, risking payroll, supplier payment, or halting ESG progress. Therefore, the company must manage liquidity proactively, balancing short-term obligation with its long-term sustainability goals. To tackle this challenge, we propose the following. First, secure short-term financing, such as a loan or credit line to cover the 2025 deficit. This bridge funding would allow operation to continue smoothly while ESG investment are being made. Second, considering phasing out ESG investment across several years instead of front-loading them into 2025. For example, spreading solar panel installation over 2 phases could flatten cash outflow. Third, apply for government subsidies or green grants. This could significantly offset the high cost of sustainability measure and ease pressure on cash flow. Fourth, maintain a strong cash reserve. Having a liquidity buffer ensures that the business can absorb short-term shocks without panic. Finally, Solartech must align financial planning with its sustainability goals. This means building ESG compliance costs into long-term budgets, so they are not treated as surprise, but as part of a strategy roadmap. In summary, Solartech ESG strategy is crucial and forward-looking, but not without financial challenge. Our analysis showed that with proper cash planning, the term strains are manageable. If Solartech strategically balance its sustainability goals with smart financial planning, it can maintain operation, meet compliance expectation, and emerge as a resilient and ethical industry leader. Thank you. I'll now hand over to Jin Heng for the ethical reflection.
Thanks, Jingjie. I'm Jing Heng, and now I'll be talking about Solartech ESG challenges. Solartech faces 2 major ESG concerns, which is carbon emissions and gender and diversity gap. Although Solartech operates in the new renewable energy sector, the company relies heavily on coal-powered grid electricity. As a result, its carbon emissions per unit of production are among the highest in the industry. Second, workplace diversity. Out of 250 employees, fewer than 15% are women, and senior managers' roles are almost exclusively male. Next slide, please. As a result of these ESG issues, negative publicity has impacted the company's reputation and reduced client confidence. International clients have raised concerns, warning that Solartech may lose contracts if it fails to adopt greener practice. Cash receipts declined by 5% due to softer demand, while operating costs increases by 40% following ESG upgrades and inclusion initiatives. This led to a 3.4 million ringgit representing the short-term cost of compliance and trust building. However, avoiding action would have led to even greater long-term losses. Next slide, please. Prioritizing short-term profit over ESG reforms lead to several consequences such as reputation and trust erosions, leading to loss of contracts and clients, market and financial loss, reducing competitiveness, and may lead to future compliance costs. Regulatory and legal exposure, as diversity non-compliance could lead to legal claims or penalties. Employee morale and turnover risk, as lack of inclusivity raises turnover and limits talent attraction. Now I will pass it to Yu Xiang for main insight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jingheng. I'm Yu Xiang. So let's start with the main insights from our analysis. Solartech's cleaner operations and inclusivity initiatives strengthen our brand reputation and boost competitiveness in the global market. Integrating ESG principles also ensures ethical alignment, building trust with our clients, employees, and investors. However, it's important to note that these ESG investments reduce profits and create temporary cash flow pressure in 2025. Despite this short-term impact, they are essential for long-term growth and sustainability. To support these ESG initiatives, we explore different financial strategies. Balanced approach combine a small price increment with also the sales growth offers better sustainability. By phasing our ESG investments and leveraging green financing options, we can balance profitability with sustainability, ensuring that Solartech continue to grow responsibly. Next slide, please. Conclusion, ESG initiatives may create short-term financial strain, but they are critical for long-term resilience. Investments in clean energy and clean inclusivity not only enhance our global competitiveness, but also strengthen trust and credibility with stakeholders. Sound cash management during this transition ensures financial stability. Ultimately, by balancing profit with ethics, we are building a company that is sustainable, responsible, and competitive. As we like to say, sustainability is not a cost, it's an investment in the future. Thank you.